All right, welcome, folks, to another exciting episode of Hindsight, the show that basically we're just telling you over and over again that hindsight's 2020. Monday morning quarterbacking you through current events, dangerous current events that have to do with daily life, so to speak. So,
brother, you said Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday morning quarterbacking.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, I know it's Saturday, but are you not aware of the expression?
I was waiting for a beat physicist as he likes to do. Just for those who don't know what Monday morning quarterbacking is. I was waiting for that one.
Okay. Are you implying something, Mr. Suave?
Yeah, for our listeners who don't know what Monday morning quarterbacking is, brother.
He's going
Thank
in.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's good. All right. So yes. So I guess let me just paint a picture in people's heads. I mean, let me just go around. Actually, let's take this a little different. Let me go to you first, Mr. Suave. What's your ideal night environment or nighttime activity? How do you spend your nightlife? What's your ideal nightlife event?
Man, you working for the feds or something? I mean, what, are you trying to get niggas in trouble here? What are you doing?
No, I'm just saying, like, what do you like to do for a good time at night, man? Jesus. Whoa. Is it that serious?
Just wearing a wire right now?
All right, okay.
Nah. Nah, but I mean, it depends on the mood of what I'm trying to do, man. Sometimes I like to just chill in. I like to watch some shows, turn the TV on, watch some shows, hang out. Sometimes I just like to cut all the noise out, spend some time with the little one. Sometimes I want to just throw on some Xbox. Not a PlayStation fan. Just trying to throw on the Xbox and get some gaming in with my boys. We just play some 2K or Call of Duty and wrap it up. I'm a little older, so I'm kind of going out stage is kind of past me. But I do like to go out a good session out with a good crowd here and there once in a while is a good. So when I'm going out, I don't go to no little kids clubs. You might see something appeasing to the eye, but you go to a lot of that might bring a lot of the hood rats, and I'm too old for that crowd. So I try to go to crowds that like 23 and up, 25 and up, more grown folk type of mentality. We're just trying to have a good time, drink, socialize. We're not on that rah type of stuff. Cause like I said, man, we're too old for that nonsense.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess let's go to Sensei Buddha. What's your ideal nighttime event?
My best ideal of a nighttime event for motherfuckers to leave me alone and have my Johnny Black. That's it. I'm talking a bunch of smack. I'm gonna tell you this. Since I've worked in nightclubs most of my career, as far as club security and stuff like that, that's cool when it's a higher end event. Like I said, when I was working over at Baruka, or when I worked at Club Life and Club Spa, because name dropping. You had great celebrities. I mean, these clubs were so fly that you didn't need security to check anybody, which I'm still against. But we had Mark Anthony. We're talking about had Mariah Carey, Eddie Murphy, and it was just a different environment. The crowd was much more mellow. But one of the things, an event that I would like to do are the nice boat rides that the Caribbean family likes to do. When they do the all-white boat rides, they wear all white. Everybody knows each other. They'll hire either somebody from Calypso singing or whatever the case may be. I've done a boat ride before. It was another party boat. And they had Colonel Abrams on there. And, this was for old school. This was straight grown folks. The food was fantastic. The crowd was excellent. And, you get your little party on the water. I think those are the best for me personally, because, the people that had come there, most of them is going to be family members, and it's going to be good family friends that come to that. Whenever I work those kind of boat rides, there was no work to be done. It was just to make sure that nobody passed out from good drinks, and making sure that people just don't do antics. But that never even happened, and everybody was having a great time, from the parents to the grandparents to the young folks. And you know, I can say it now because I no longer work it, but you know how it is. People go to the back part of the boat. They're not supposed to be smoking and stuff, but they were smoking, having a good time. And we didn't say nothing. It was like, hey, guys, as long as nobody's sick, we just make sure that nobody was sick or whatever the case. Other than that, everybody else.
What were we smoking?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm curious to know.
Was it of the herbal effects, or was it of the cancerous effects?
My best fake bridge, man, the herb, man, the herb.
From the earth.
They were smoking some, eat some good shit, and also cigars. They had some people smoking some good cigars back there, very aromatic. But the cigars weren't illegal. It was out there on the boat. Just chilling, and it just I like that vibe. It was a more intimate vibe. People knew who each other were. Even when there was, you could tell that they were inviting some of the best friends and stuff like that. It was really good. It was really good. And we also did the rock and roll boat rides where they had some, a couple of rock acts and stuff like that. And again, we never, ever had problems on the boat with these kind of acts. But of course, when you go to the club and then you do a hip hop night, and I'm not against anything with hip hop, but it's just you get to see people. Some of the young fellas, as well the young ladies, they come there, they spend their last $20. They don't got no money to really enjoy by getting a couple of drinks or something like that. And it's just fun fighting. It's ridiculous stuff. And I'm like, damn, man, and then you have to end up throwing these kids out. But I always loved working private events. Private events are always dope. One time we had this art gallery type private event. You want to talk about just being smooth and just being on some cool stuff, man. It's just different. And it's not just because you don't have to throw somebody out, because you're still walking around, you're still working, you're still checking the bathrooms, you're still going about, making sure the place is secured. But it's like everybody's on the same page. And some people would end up getting sick in the bathroom, and then you call EMS, you can gently bring them out. Nobody's crazy, I don't know, man. Just just working private events, those are best, because that's more on exclusive tip. Those are people that are coming in, they bring in a little paper with them. Not saying that you have to be Daddy Warbucks, but the mentality of the people are different. One of the things that we worked, it was a great party. It was the NYU graduate party for the law students. And there was a lot of Black and Latin lawyers that graduated, along with the white crowd as well. And these people, they had a great time. Yeah, these were young cats, man. They all like 25, 26 years. You know what I'm saying? The women were beautiful. They're young. The fellas, they look, they came through looking smooth, pimped out. Not one problem. And, when you're working inside or outside, they come up to you, they're talking about the cases they debated, their theses that they presented. I said, man, these are young cats doing it. So I can't blame the age. You got to blame the mentality. Unfortunately, man, we had a hip hop party, and there was people my age in there, in their mid 40s, with the pants hanging off their ass. So, yeah, man. And when I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Because here we are, we doing a grown party, so we thought. So you're thinking, okay, everybody's going to be 40 and up. All I got to do is just, they're going to be old like me, probably falling asleep in the booth. You just got to wake them up, make sure they're all right. They had some old heads. You had some old heads walking in there with the pants sagging off their ass. And it just looked so nasty. It just so...
Okay,
I'll
well,
say this. I'll say this. To me, it was just very less than savory, because it wasn't just one, it wasn't two, it wasn't three. It was a slew of them, and we couldn't believe it. Thank goodness, even though they were silly in their mindset, they didn't start any fights. But it was like, dude, you're in your 40s and your pants is off your buttocks. Come on, man. Don't speak in code like that if you want some man to hook up with you, man. I don't like to see that, but I'm not against anybody. Like I said before, having a mature crowd coming through, and it's more mentality, not always of age. Because, like I said, we had the NYU students who graduated from law school. They came through. They were beyond fabulous. Everybody was flossed out, and great conversations from people so young, talking about, as I said, they were arguing their thesis and what they had to present, and it just deep. And if you're around people, it's so funny how if you have alcohol for people, you can, they might want to turn up a little bit or just to dance and have fun with it. But when you have intellectual people, they're coming around with their drinks and they're drinking, they're getting toasted, but you can tell they still have mental clarity. That to me is taking it to a higher level. That to me, that's what I like to see. But as far as like hanging out or something like that, hey man, I'm getting up there in age. I like to stay home with the Fire Stick, watch some movies, or put on the Netflix. Too bad The Defenders was the worst series that I've ever seen in my life. As I said, DC Universe is putting it on Smash on TV. But a nice thing, okay, man. Good scotch, good whiskey, from time to time, a good cigar, and that's it. And just to chill back. Just to chill back, man. It just, yeah. Marvel Universe, epic fail on TV.
Yeah, I was just about to correct you real quick on that.
Marvel is a TV. It's a beast in the movies, but a failure on TV. Whereas the DC Universe is handling all kinds of business.
Flash, Arrow, Supergirl.
Yes. Legends of Tomorrow. That
I haven't started that one yet, but I did start watching Daredevil, and that show is dope. Just as is Luke Cage. And I heard Defenders is awesome.
Defenders, put it this way: you can watch Defenders, but it doesn't get good until the third episode at the end. First of all, if you have insomnia, you no longer need NyQuil. Just watch any of the Marvel TV series. Instantly, the cure will be unveiled to you. I'm telling you, the only thing cracking with Marvel is the Daredevil. His fight scenes are still the shit. Can't even front. When it comes to real stuff, just watch Arrow. Arrow, hands down, some of the best knuckle game. The Flash is very with the visionaries, but take Legend of Tomorrow is a beast. Supergirl is a beast, a lovely beast.
It's a low-key good show, yeah.
I'm talking about this is something you might want to get a good scotch and just sit back and say, "Whoa," because you're talking about that. But when I look at anything with the Marvel universe, I tried to get into Jessica Jones, and it just goes to prove, no matter how fine of a chick you can put on the screen, if the storylines ain't right, sleep and drool will be upon your shirt. It's just yeah, man. I mean, Jessica Jones boring. Luke Cage was so damn boring, man. I said,
wait a second.
I don't agree with that.
I disagree on that too. You didn't like Luke Cage?
I'm gonna tell you this. First and foremost, for me, this is just me. Blood and Bone, which was a great movie with one of my favorite actors. Okay, but Luke Cage, same theme. A brother coming home from prison. I'm tired of that shit. I am so damn done with that shit. Just whack. To me, okay, he's supposed to be the Knight of Harlem. He put in a little work, but the stories weren't gritty. They don't get down. The Daredevil story got down. You can see how people were really vying for control of the city, taking over, trying to really do things with money. Whereas in the thing with Harlem, a bunch of blacks terrorizing blacks. There was nothing fly about that shit. It was whack. I tried to Nice. I tried to watch Luke Cage, and each time I said, now I know why they call. I know why they call him Luke Cage. Look, you're in a cage watching this bullshit. It was.
I like that. Look, man. The reason I like Luke Cage is they don't have, and the industry is dominated Marvel and DC by images of just not us, not people who we can associate with. So Luke Cage, yeah, it might be that same typical thing, but at least it puts us out there, and you have somebody relatable that looks like you. Same thing from DC. They put Cyborg. I mean, it's messed up to get a Black Star. They had to mesh him with a machine, but right. at least we got someone we can mesh with. Daredevil, that's not us. Arrow, that's not us. Flash, that's not us. The Reverse Flash, that's not us. Zoom, that's not us. Superman, Supergirl, that's not us. Green Lantern, it's one of us in how many House Sparks? You know what I'm saying? So it at least gives us something and the kids to grow up to relate to, because I think that falls on the generation of creative writers nowadays to make it more impactful, to bring in more ethnicity and diversity into the comic world. And I think they're starting to do that now. I'm not up on the comic game like that, and I know this conversation veered left, but it's all good dialogue to what we're going to. But I think the game's starting to be more diverse a little bit now with the new creative writers getting into the game now. But
right.
Okay,
brother, to me, this again, Marvel is this thing of picking all the right actors, but if the storyline is dead, I'm gonna scream on you for it. To me, Luke Cage, I'm very sorry. The actors are cool. I like the Luke Cage character. I like the female head detective. She was really great. All the actors are in place. But if the storylines cannot be better, I'm looking at Luke Cage and I'm looking at this shit like, damn, is this the 80s again? Watching a fucking soap opera, The Young and the Restless? The shit is so boring. I almost. When the first Luke Cage came on, I just said, yo, Daredevil's fly. They're going to make Luke Cage fly. They're going to make Luke Cage fly. Man, I sat down. I had myself a little Dewar's whiskey. I put it on the ice. I said, oh, we're going to sit down and watch the Luke Cage show. Bro, that shit was so boring. I stopped having a drink and just went to sleep. I never had such a sound sleep off of frustration in my life than when I looked at Luke Cage. Straight up and down. And I looked at the episode. I even tried to go through the series twice. Couldn't do it. But if you give me The Flash, I turn that shit on. Any episode, anytime, anywhere in its 3 seasons, I'm having a good time. Supergirl got 2 seasons. I turn on anything, girl, any episode, anytime, a good fucking show.
And she's sexy as hell too, I must say.
She is beautiful, all that stuff. But Jessica Jones, who I think is a beautiful woman, and we saw Luke Cage bend her over the rail real good. I'm like, hey, that's cool. That's what's up. But other than bending her over the fucking rails and shit, I'm like, where was her story going? Where? They even brought what's that?
She only had 1 season in Defense.
She only had that 1 season, but the season was so boring. I looked at all her episodes because I felt that she's a fine chick. But I'm like, damn, when you fine but can't even say the shitty script, that's when you know. And who Rosario Dawson in Defenders and all that stuff, because she was part of the Daredevil world and all that.
And Luke Cage, yeah.
Brother, they got Rosario Dawson. They got Carrie Ann Moss, Trinity, the great Trinity, well, fine, sexy stuff. They even got in Sigourney Weaver, the space goddess. The space goddess. You got all these great actors. You got Scott Glenn, another.
You saying Defenders is still whack?
The Defenders is so fucking whack. It's like watching Howard the whack.
Yo, everybody who told me who saw they watched the Defenders, they said it was dope. You need to watch it.
gonna tell you, I watched all Defenders episodes within 3 days, and I'm gonna tell you something. To me, it was beyond garbage. It was beyond garbage. It was beyond garbage. You hear me? I looked at that shit. When you watch Defenders, it doesn't pick up until the third episode. This shit is so fucking boring. Iron Fist is acting like an okay, an immature adolescent prick. And to me, the only actors in the show that I really like, other than Sigourney Weaver, Scott Glenn, Carrie Ann Moss, who was like in the scenes for like maybe just a couple of moments. She didn't even get no real airtime. Was the only one I liked was Madame Gao. In any series, any TV episode Madame Gao is on, she's the shit. She's a great actress, old sister. But even she couldn't save this dog of a fucking series. The series to me is straight garbage. I'm sorry. I tried to look at it even after some couple of good fight scenes. I said, okay, and it's just not it.
The physicist, I think we're gonna have to rename this podcast Sensei Buddha Blacking Out.
I think so too. I agree. I was trying to actually go somewhere with this, but yeah, this went in a different direction, which is okay. But
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to the viewers. You know what I'm saying? Because when you watch an episode of The Flash, you're like, damn, what's coming on next week? When you see Supergirl, she doesn't do this, that, and dude, Arrow, hands down, got the best knuckle game, bow and arrow weapons game, League of Assassins game.
I just finished watching season 5. I love Arrow, man.
I try to watch each Arrow episode twice. It is fucking tight. You know what it is? They're not insulting the intelligence of the viewer. When they took Ollie and made him into the mayor, and then that one dude who was his aide was playing him the whole time.
Chase, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Not really, because it's all 5 seasons out, so it's not a spoiler. You just gotta watch it.
Yeah, for those who haven't watched it, like me.
Well, you'll figure it out.
All right.
So I'll backtrack on it, but I'm gonna put it like this: any season of Arrow, whether it's the first season, second to the 5th, it don't matter. You could just take a dart and throw it on the spin of a wheel. You're gonna have a great time, great fight scene, and a great storyline.
And you know what's good? How to keep building this playboy idiot, his character. How to keep building him. How he's been built into a machine, but then it also ties into I don't know if you watch Gotham. I like Gotham. I think Gotham's awesome.
I've been taking a chance to watch Gotham. You think I should watch it?
Yes, man. It was DC, man. So you like your DC shows, and it just shows all the characters at a younger age, and they're them coming of age. So it's dope.
I think they got that on Netflix, so I can check that out.
Well, it's on Fire Stick also.
Fire Stick was down. I'm waiting for my man to fix that shit up.
But I would say, brother Beat Physicist, now we know extensively how Sensei Buddha spends his nights. Yeah. What about you, brother?
Oh, an ideal. Well, let me see. I'm
my nights now. Shit. I'm just talking about what I want to watch. That's it.
Like a night on evening out. I mean, nighttime. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm usually in the house, family or whatever. Usually though, if I'm after a soccer game or something, the teammates will want to go get something to eat, and we'll all go to a sports bar and just eat and drink beers and talk. So if it's with the wife, it could be the opera. It could be something that we really wanted to go see. Like if there's a movie that everybody's like, yo, you got to go see it or whatever, then we'll find a babysitter and just go out and go see it, and then come back immediately. We can't really spend too much time, away from the home. But yeah, but that's basically. I mean, in my single days, though, yeah, I mean, I wasn't really trying to be in a rah-rah club or whatever. I'm hear people talk and
like really, good conversation.
Yeah, really converse, and really, if this, some attractive female that you may want to talk to, you can slide over and, bother her for a bit, until, you say the wrong thing, put your foot in your mouth, and then you go on to the next female.
For those of y'all that don't know, physicists back in the day, they didn't call him BEAT for nothing.
Yeah. Well,
relevant.
Beat the brakes off that. Anyway, continue, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, that's me basically. Yeah, have a nice drink every now and then. But yeah, that's me, and I was trying to use that I was saying all of that, going around the table, so to speak, to get into the story, which I think we're going to have to get into the next episode.
Nah, I think we should just continue on with it. What we did here? We gave our listeners a little more insight on who we are. And that's all we did. So, yeah, we veered off a little bit. And you know what? Even though our shows, we do have a formula and a format we kind of go by. We went all a little off script. So I just think we should give that to the listeners and just keep flowing with it. Because everything we was talking about flowed.
True. Okay. All right, folks. Let's
Can we pause for a bit? Because I have to go.
Yeah. Let's take a commercial break and then get back to it.
Yes.
All right.